Welcome to Dom's Sketchcast. I'm Dom. What you're about to witness is real footage of Calliope and I journeying to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada for the very first time. But this will be no ordinary trip. We soon found ourselves locked in battle with a vengeful spirit, hell-bent on stifling our creativity. Would we overcome this sinister force, or be trapped forever in an endless cycle of artistic paralysis? The answers await on this episode of Dom's Sketchcast. But first, I just dropped an exclusive Calliope shirt that's only available until January 31st, 2025 at midnight. Once they're gone for good. Snag yours now at domrapper.com/shop. Link is in the show notes. And if you want the full scoop on who Calliope is and the full Dom Sketchcast lore as I update it, swing by the DSC Wiki for updates on my worlds, characters, and upcoming stories. Also, I've got to shout out Code Switching, a 4-part sci-fi audio series that I narrated for Escape Pod. Written by Malin Edwards, it follows a cyberpunk Haitian athlete who half speaks in rap. It is easily the wildest story I've ever voiced, and the best part is that it is completely free and available right now. Check the link in the show notes and dive right in. There's a goddamn mountain out there. That's the goddamn Vancouver Mountains. Right? It's the Vancouver Mountains. Vancouver is a major city in Western Canada, located in British Columbia's lower mainland. Famous for its mild, often rainy climate and a skyline that blends sleek glass towers with historic architecture, it's a cultural hotspot bordered by mountains and oceans. On our first day, Calliope and I met a chatty Ethiopian Uber driver who swore he'd never set foot in America or Calgary ever again. Being no stranger to wild Uber adventures, I hit record, not realizing we were about to have our first run-in with the Vancouver Haint.
Even those people, they don't attack you, they don't harass you at all.
Because there were some people on the internet were like, oh, be careful over there. And now that we're here, I'm like, this is like a joke. I mean, not a joke, but this is like a cakewalk compared to where we're from.
Places like that in US, you can't walk.
We have healthcare, right?
Healthcare is universal. That's what makes Canada best.
But I heard it's difficult to get.
Still, you know, they say, I have 2 kids born in Calgary.
Okay.
Calgary is the best place on the planet.
Whoa.
Honestly.
Wow.
Why'd you leave?
Because of the climate. I can't handle it anymore.
It's
from Africa, right?
We don't. Like, I don't know the geography.
Cold,
it's colder.
No. Here you don't compare it with here. Here is like Africa or Asia or Haiti.
Yeah.
It's like sunny, beautiful.
So Calgary is
sometimes you'll find minus 46 with wind chill. So it's bone breaking. Yeah, you cry sometimes.
So night one is pretty nice, right? I had some fish vindaloo. We went to the weird ass video store that I'm gonna probably go to again, right? Anything else?
Yeah, we got groceries.
You got groceries? Got food? It's super anticlimactic, but fuck you. The Haint showed herself with a cryptic message that I could not yet detect. But what could it possibly mean? We encountered our first Canadian ghost, Pacific Northwest ghost, all right? So we were walking, and I saw some cleaners that looked really plain and ugly as fuck, frankly, and they had a white girl working behind the counter, and I was like, yo, this place is horrible. Like, no one wants to bring their clothes here. And then we felt a presence, right? How would you describe? There's definitely a presence walking behind us, like real close up. And then I turn around, and they were gone.
Weird.
What's it mean? We got some Haints. I don't think Haints ever got as far as Vancouver. There were black folks here at some point. We have some Haint activity, so I'll be investigating that as well during the trip. Leave a like and a comment if you have some ideas about other supernatural beings I should try and track down on my various travails throughout the world. Right on, one of the patron extraordinaires from Patreon is asking about just advice on making videos, just getting started, or I think his question is about getting comfortable even making this stuff, and I think the actual doing of it. As with many things, I have two answers for that, or two sort of classes of answer, and one of them is about the technical aspect of things, and the other is about, I can only call it psycho-spiritual aspect of it. In terms of the technical side, one thing that I've learned is that the sort of traditional stuff of writing out what you're going to talk about, having an outline, a shot list, doing thumbnails, like a super basic storyboard, and then following what you said you were going to do, making some kind of promise to yourself that you're not going to go overboard is a really big thing. I know it's hard when you're doing it on your own, but I have a maybe convoluted system of trying to keep myself in check, where I have all these kinds of beings or parts in my head that I keep some kind of contract with, so that I'm trying to do less than I usually do because I'm not 21 anymore. So yeah, keep yourself in check with the shot list. Just learn how to edit ruthlessly against whatever your goal was, and having a goal is a good way to make something that gets made. You should probably post the thing you're making. I've fallen into that trap many times, and there's a lot of shit. Most of the stuff I've made I will not ever share, which is cool, but some of it was shareable and is shareable, and I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm more comfortable just being in the creation phase or the ideation phase. And if you're anything like me, I think most artists get caught up in the ideation phase, just imagining, because that's most fun, and that's kind of our comfort zone. In the second realm, the sort of emotional, psychosocial, is to understand what your blockages are about yourself. There's probably something inside of you, some kind of voice that is not you. Maybe it sounds like a relative or a good friend or someone, some kind of naysayer who's not naysaying because they're a hater in the DJ Khaled sense, but because they're maybe more risk averse than you, or they're careful in life, they're not creative, they don't have something that they've been trying to express, so they've sort of manifested in you in a kind of overprotective way that is resulting in you not doing what it is you should be doing. So I think if you name that demon, if you name that thing and sort of have a real conversation with it and say, hey, I'm going to be doing this thing, and not in an antagonistic way, but being like, it's going to happen. So, would you like to help me? Because otherwise, I'm just not going to be listening to you. Just have a real conversation with it. That's helped me a lot in the past. So maybe give that a shot. And go to therapy. I always say it. I want to say it again. And when I say therapy, I mean a clinically trained professional and licensed professional who is paid. If you live in a place where you're lucky enough to be able to afford that, a person who is paid to listen to your problems and your deep shit that you've gone through, and isn't a friend and is objective, I think that kind of thing really, really helps for the emotional part. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's my advice.
All right, so we just got a nice writing session done in a cafe called Matchstick, I believe in Vancouver. I'm always on the lookout for things that I feel like I would not see in the DC area. For instance, a chocolate cake with some grapes on the floor and a dude smoking a dumpster looking at me like, what the fuck is this man doing? And yeah, I know, it's strange. The dude looked at me with such suspicion as I was caught recording chocolate cake that fell on the ground. These are the kinds of things y'all can expect from me in a travel vlog. You wanted to take a moment to talk about a little bit about the architecture and the feeling. I'm trying to figure out what this place feels like, so I'm gonna figure that shit out and I'll upload it to the wiki, the DSC Wiki at some point, which you can check out by clicking in the DSC Wiki is gonna be my repository of all my ideas and stories and characters, and everything is ideally going to be compiled there. So if you're the kind of person who wants to understand what the hell I'm doing in plain language and not just experience like the raw dogging of my art and all that stuff, you can go there and get things explained to you, because I don't often speak English. This place is modern. I was reading about the aesthetic choices of the architecture here and sort of the reasons why I feel like it's different. I'm detecting like a lot of glass and integration of like nature with glass and mirrors, and maybe not so many mirrors, but wood, and a lot of wood, trees, moss, tall angular buildings and structures I'm not used to seeing over on the East Coast, and I don't know, AI gave me some good reason why, but I felt it even before all that stuff was explained to me. And I've been enjoying just walking through neighborhoods and looking at the different personalities of the buildings, because I feel like they all kind of have a different personality, or a lot more variety in personality anyway. It's an overcast day. I just wanted y'all to know I'm still on the hunt for the Haint. I think it's gonna come out at night. We already have one other instance, the chocolate cake on the floor with the grapes. I think that means that, I think it's a she. I think the Haint was eating around there. So I'm gonna investigate some more. We may still be getting haunted too, so.
Maybe someone was giving an offering to the Haint.
Yes. So that means we have a person helping out the Haint, or like trying to so we have cultists, right? We have some cultists as well.
Haint cult?
Haint cult, Vancouver Haint cult. So this is beyond just the one. That's who I need to be tracking down. Just remember that, keep that in mind. With the clues we gathered, we headed to the seawall and Lighthouse for our final showdown with the Haint. That is just outstanding. Look at that. Okay, so here we are on the trail of the Haint, the Vancouver Haint. It's brought us to this position. We're in the woods out here at the aquarium.
Stanley Park.
Yeah, we're at Stanley Park, tracing the trail. I was taking a nap and I got some spirit notifications that we had to come out here. So now we're in the woods and we're gonna see the seawall, which is also coincidentally one of my favorite tracks from the Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack by the one and only Hans Zimmer. I had to mention that. We tracked the Haint down to this fucking lighthouse right here. I believe that Haint is inside a lighthouse. It's like that Robert Eggers Lighthouse movie. That's when we're gonna have the final battle. I just gotta make sure I'm prepared. We're gonna go in there, have a boss-style battle, and see if I emerge victorious.
Stop creating. Stop creating. Listen.
So, general parting thoughts on Canada and Vancouver. I obviously have a lot more country to explore. In the future, I hope to come back, but it's been an incredibly beautiful experience. Super connected to nature. The architecture, which I've not talked a lot about, has been outstanding, unique, and very modern. I was not expecting the modern Pacific influence, which I know sounds kind of obvious, but it just wasn't what I was imagining. A lot of glass, a lot of balconies, a lot of variation in between each building. So much Asian food, South Asian, East Asian, Chinese, Japanese, Indian, Uyghur. Like, I saw so much, and I had a lot of incredible food. It was quite impressive. I feel so safe here. Knowing that, like, I only saw maybe I saw two cops the 4 days we were here, and I feel like it's super refreshing to know that I'm not going to be shot or mowed down by gun violence or something, and that's something that, you know, being an American, we just live with that. It's one of those things where you're in a cafe and you hear any sort of loud click or a pop somewhere, and you're just like, oh, it's my time. Here we go. You know, there's no safe space, really. The most vulnerable of us in the U.S. are vulnerable to that experience. I mean, it may be a slim chance, but it is something that is possible and happens all the time, multiple times a year, whether accidental or super intentional, and that's not going away. As long as I live, that's something I expect to be in fear of as long as I'm living in the U.S., which I will be for the foreseeable future. I ain't going nowhere. So, yeah, safety is a thing here. Prices. Things are cheaper here technically because of the U.S.-Canadian exchange rate, but there are a lot of more taxes on everything, I notice, and that probably is, you know, healthcare and all that stuff, right? 19 plus movie theaters, excellent. They have movie theaters here where you have to be 19 or older to be there with assigned seating. It is excellent. We saw two movies. We saw Conclave and Wicked while we were here, and amazing crowds. I only saw one person texting on her phone, which I fucking can't stand, but, you know, it was only for like a minute or something. But yeah, the luxury of not having to listen to children or young people in movie theaters is great. A lot of commercials in the movie theaters. I don't know what it is with y'all Canadians, but I mean, like, I would say maybe 4 times the commercials before a movie, and in between previews, it's like preview 1, preview 2, 2 Scotiabank commercials. A lot of Scotiabank. They really want you to sign up for Scotiabank. Like, God damn. Like, we get it. Scotiabank. I cannot put into words how overwhelming of a feeling it is to look at those mountains that are over there somewhere. To look at those mountains and be like, yes, I am insignificant. Kind of the same feeling that the ocean gives you. But to be in an area where you get to experience that, walk out the door and see mountains, it's immeasurable. The sense of calm, and multiple times I had this thought of, you will be here, you have been here for millennia before I was a blip on this planet, and you will be here for millennia after I exit this planet, and after you exit this planet. And likely any person who finds an archive of this, some fucking alien anthropologist who finds this in 1,000 years, that mountain's probably still gonna be there, you know?
Ultimately, our foe was vanquished. But who sent the Haint in the first place? And who is Le Fan? Determined to document everything, I updated the DSC Wiki before catching our flight back to the DC area. We won this creative battle, but many more lie ahead. Thanks for watching, stay creative out there, and I will see you next time on Dom's Sketchcast.
Yo. Well, I look like a violin? Keep it, it's yours. Hmm?